So I have a super garbage man. Let me tell you about this guy. All right. So I live out in the country, middle of nowhere, as you might imagine, and there is city trash service, but I have a gravel driveway, and dragging that dumpster down to the end is just not going to happen. It would be awful. Like it would be physically hard. Like it would be a chore to get that thing down there. It'd take half an hour. So I had trash service for a while, but I was just not getting it done. The trash was piling up, and I'd have to haul it off myself. So I had to hunt down a super garbage man. I needed a guy who would drive to my house once a week, all the way down my driveway, come to my door, and take the trash that's piled up there and take it away from me for a fee. And I was looking high and low for this, and it was going to be expensive. There was one service that would actually give me sort of a miniature dumpster that was like the size of this couch maybe, and I was going to be like $2,000 to start things off, and then we'd go monthly from there. It was absurd. It was like, what is this shit? I just want my trash gone. How do I make this happen? And I found it. This guy is like his own personal trash service. Basically, he's like, hey, you want somebody to come get your trash? All right, then.
Wow.
$20. I was like, well, how much, man? How much? And in my head, I'm like, name your fucking price, bro. It's like I feel like a slutty girl, like, you know, with no ride home. I'm like, I could maybe, you know, and I'll do anything he wants. He has me at his mercy. He says, $20 will do it. And I'm like, a week? And I'm completely serious. He goes, of course not a week. A month, you know, a month. I just come. He goes, I'm just gonna come once a week, you know, just once a week. And I'm like, is there an option for daily trash service? So he actually does. He comes all the way to down the driveway. He gets the thing and takes it away. And the thing about it is, I've had this issue where this neighborhood dog has been coming up and ripping these bags of trash apart.
Kill the dog.
And there will be maggots and rotted meat and just the grossest, trash that you can imagine. It's refuse.
Yeah.
Everything's covered in coffee grounds and like raw chicken juice, etc. So it's nasty.
Lovely smell.
And I'm looking at this awful mess, and I'm like, shit, I gotta clean this up. This is the thing I hate doing in the world the most. Is cleaning up gross stuff. Like this is below me, quite frankly. Like I don't, look. I didn't just say that like it's below me to do my own dry cleaning. It's below me to clean rotten meat up out of my yard.
Sadly, that's directly my level at my house.
And I think you guys have a low opinion of yourselves if any of you don't think that you're above cleaning up rotten meat out of your yard. You all are. All of us in this call are, goddamn. So, but I had to, right? I was like, tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna go to my dad's house and get like a hay fork or something, and I'm gonna get this thing done. The garbage man shows up at like 6 a.m. when he's not supposed to, a day early. He cleans it up for me, bags it all up, and I mean every bit. I mean, there wasn't like a tampon wrapper or like the gross, like some dirty like dog shitted toilet paper. Like he got every scrap, every little bit of like filth he could find. My yard looked cleaner than before this whole thing
There's like
started.
twigs and leaves cleaned up.
Yeah, he's done that twice now. And it's not that I leave this mess to him. I would never do that. I felt shitty about it, and I tipped him. I gave him $40 last time he came around. I felt shitty about it, but he shows up like a day early when the dog happens to rip. It's like he knows. It's like he's coming by checking on my garbage in his off time, and he found that there was
He can sense it. He can sense it. Oh,
He's a Jedi.
He's got someone doing recon.
and he's the best. And
Hal needs me right now.
yeah,
I'm gonna get my boy and drive up. Something's wrong right now.
And he's just the nicest, sweetest guy I've ever met. But that dog ripped my trash apart for the third fucking time. This time, Kitty actually cleaned it up. So now the dog's got to go. The dog's got to go. I'm hunting the dog at this point. Now I'm done. Now I'm a dog. I am a dog hunter now. There's no question over what's going to happen to the dog. I've already decided. I'm just waiting on him to come back.
How did you find this garbage guy?
I honestly don't remember. I think maybe my dad like recommended him, or like he's a friend of a friend, or something like that. To be completely honest, and I only say this because I'm positive he'll never listen to this.
Yeah.
He's a bit slow-witted. Not that you'd ever notice unless you had like a long, in-depth conversation with the man. Then you kind of pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I recently came to the realization that he thinks that I'm some sort of a crackpot inventor, and that's what I do for a living. Because he thinks I'm like Doc from Back to the
Future.
He thinks I'm an inventor. He thinks that I'm coming up with all this crazy gadgets, and that that's how I bought this house and these cars and all this stuff. And let me tell you why. Because when you come to my house, like I've got gadgets sitting around. I have this personal like tank vehicle. It's called a
Shredder.
Shredder. It's a shredder like DPV or something. And basically, you stand on a skateboard, and it's got a gasoline engine. You've got a throttle that's connected to the base by a stand, and it's got 2 rubberized tank treads. It's a ridiculous toy. It's just like a silly man toy. The thing's very expensive. So he sees all these toys, and he sees I've got these big ballistic gel torsos outside and stuff, and he asks me about them occasionally, and I'll tell him, I'm like, oh, well, this is ballistics gel. It replicates human flesh, and when I shoot it, I can determine what a bullet would actually do to human flesh. It's good for people who want to buy defense ammunition. Oh, okay. And there's like piles of spray paint cans because I shoot those a lot. He thinks that I'm an inventor, and here's how I know. Because when I paid him last time, I gave him the extra $20 or whatever, and I apologized profusely for him cleaning up my mess twice for me, and I'm like, well, see you later. And he's like, you know what you need. I got an idea for you. Now you just get right on this if you want to or don't. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I'm just come to me. So keep in mind he brings his grandson with him on these trash pickups to like show his grandson like what working is like, and that there's a hard side of life. And he has in the past said, you need to be like this man right here. Use your mind. You don't want to work with somebody like me. Because he's jacked. His arms are bigger than yours from doing the trash thing. And I commented on it, and he's like, he tells his grandson, don't listen to him none. You don't want big arms, you want a big brain. He goes on about this. So he's telling me, I got this idea. You're gonna love it. So last night was over at the house, and little Daniel, he's got that R2D2 beep beep beep, and that thing's running around there. He loves it, And I started thinking, they ain't got nothing that goes and like flies for a minute and then lands back down. That'd be a good toy. Now, if you could make that R2D2 toy where he'd go and kind of hover a little bit and then land, you got $1 million right there. I literally went.
Blow his mind next week.
I literally was so embarrassed for both of us that I went, that's a good idea. Turned around and left. I'm pretty sure that if you had to ask him right now what he thinks I'm doing, well, he's probably working on an R2D2. He seemed excited. I'm telling you, I told him. Tore him off right then. He's out there.
You should just bring him in one day, show him episodes of Mythbusters, and be like, you see that show? I build all the props for that show. I'm in the background of every shot. Those are my gadgets.
No, you should have.
Millionaire.
He thinks I'm Bill Nye the Science Guy or something like.
You're Elon Musk to him. That's what you are. Building your rockets and shit.
Nice. After he gave you that idea, you should have gone, great Scott!
You gotta show up with a drone next week. You just gotta. I made it.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, this guy's never seen a drone. I was like, I should go buy one of those $100 drones at the fucking flea market and just blow his mind.
You can freak him out.
Oh man, there's a lot of people like that. They live in their own little communities and they're not really aware of the outside world so much because they don't have internet and maybe they don't even watch TV. And this guy's one of them. He's a really interesting character.